So you can see I've kind of got a display here of everything going on with my paper pumpkin kit. Here is the instructional sheet that shows you the projects as designed. Now you don't always have to make them that way, but it's nice that they give us the step-by-step instructions. On the back side, there are some alternative projects. They showed us a cute little turkey and a couple of card projects. And look at that stinking cute Frankenstein as well. All right, so inside this month's kit, let's start with that, were the foundations for the boxes. And they're two-sided. I love that. So pale papaya on one side, soft succulent on the flip. We've got paper pumpkin and Poppy Parade. That's great for a little apple. And we have more soft succulent and another pattern with Poppy Parade. So those are what you needed to create the treat boxes as designed, and I did make some of those. I do want them. It even included these sticks to have the little vines, included the sticker sheets for the jack-o'-lantern, and it also includes a sheet of white labels. We need that. And it has about 3 sheets of die cuts, different kinds of leaves. Hey Debbie, thanks for popping in. So I'm here to share with you a couple of alternatives to this too cute kit. So the stamp set, I just love. It has 2 different kinds of leaves with the background and the detail. It's got a nice little swish, and it's got some really nice sentiments in it. It's got Happy Halloween. Let's see. Hey there, pumpkin. Thank you, which I think is always good to have. And I pick you every time, as well as blessings. And it included the soft succulent stamp spot this time. So here's what I'm making. I shared this card with you previously. I loved creating a background with those leaves and putting it on the evening evergreen paper. So here's what I'm doing today. I have actually taken one of these foundational treat box sheets and I've cut it up. So you can see I have all these little pieces here. I coordinated and put them onto my white background. So I'm starting with the basic white background. Thank you, Debbie. I like it too. I really like the way it came out. I just trimmed them up. There's no rhyme or reason. They're all different shapes. In fact, the wonkier the better. It's going to create a really pretty card. I am going to need some of the die cuts. I'm going to use the white side because I'm going to be stamping on them. And I'm going to use one of the basic white labels to stamp on. So let's get started. I'm going to start off with my basic white card base. It's 5.5 by 8.5. I pre-scored it right down the middle at 4 1/4. And what I'm going to do is just create my background. And I'm using just multi-purpose liquid glue to adhere all of these shapes. So I'm going to be using the different patterns, and I do want to cut the edges off. I want them at an angle, so let's see if I can make a couple of these at a time. As I said, the wonkier the better. It's going to add some interest to your card. And I'm going to start off with a nice bold Poppy Parade. I'm just going to put a little smidge of glue on the back, and it's going to come down the center. And although this is going to be a horizontal card, it's easier for me to work right side up or vertically. So, and as I say, I do want some little curves and twists and turns on the paper. And I'm just alternating the pattern, and I do want to go from wide to thin, thin to wide, just making it a nice pattern. No rhyme or reason again, just going to be. And I just enjoyed creating my little pattern with the different colors going on. And I did alternate. There is a pattern here. I went Poppy Parade, soft succulent, pale papaya. So my next one's going to be, again, Poppy Parade. And just snipping the edges. And you can see I'm using my pre-made card as a reference there. These are about 2.5 inches, and I just took them put them on my paper trimmer, my hatchet trimmer, and trim them up. I'm going to try to select different patterns if I have them available. So there's 2 patterns on the Poppy Parade. And let's see, that one goes this way. So I'm going again, wide to narrow, narrow to wide. So easy. And so sometimes when we get our kits, if they are treats and you don't need as many treats, you can always transform them into cards or something that you will use. And let's see. So this was the kit for September. The next kit will be Christmas cards, and you do need to subscribe by the 10th of the month if you want to get in on the Christmas card kit. You might know Stampin' Up! Did release a card kit for Christmas, but that sold out very, very quickly. So you still have a chance to get in on a Christmas card kit by subscribing to Paper Pumpkin. It's only $22 a month, or you can buy prepaid subscriptions. I like to do my annual subscription. That's the best deal because you actually wind up getting a kit free. You pay for 11 but get 12. And there's also some perks that you can get when you have a larger order. You earn host rewards. So those host rewards come in very handy to get some of the other supplies that you might need for crafting. All right. So you can see it's Poppy Parade, Soft Succulent, Pale Papaya. I'm just creating a little pattern to create a background for my card. And multi-purpose liquid glue is my favorite adhesive. It goes on so easily. It's very economical and it's very forgiving as well. If you are interested in seeing more alternative projects for Paper Pumpkin kits, whoops, I need a Pale Papaya. There is a Facebook page that has some wonderful shared projects. It's called Paper Pumpkin Fan Club. Anybody can join. It is a group, so you do have to ask to join, and every month you can see some alternatives to the kit projects. It's nice to switch them up, and if you are a Paper Pumpkin Club Plus member with Just Stamp, you get the materials to make the alternatives delivered direct to you in the mail. So that's another reason that you want to go ahead and subscribe for 12 months. And I'm almost done here. You can see how easy it was just to create the pattern. There's no perfection here. I'm just alternating and creating a background here. My paper snips come in very handy. Paper snips have been on back order from Stampin' Up, but I think I just checked they should be arriving soon. I know I have about 2 pair on back order. Okay, so there's my background. I'm going to rotate that, and I'm going to use the base of the box. So you can see we had all the side panels. We also have a base which I snipped. I'm going to be using that to kind of ground my sentiment. I'm going to stamp on my label. I'm going to take that thank you stamp out of the stamp set, and I'm going to mount that onto a block. And I'm going to use my full-size pad for my soft succulent. I have all the colors, which makes it really easy for stamping instead of using this spot. And I'm looking around. I want to stamp on a piercing mat. This is the thank you. So I'm just going to go ahead and stamp it right on the label. Oops. Can you hear Winston? Somebody's going past. All right, the next thing I'm going to do, you can see I'm not crazy about that. I'm going to go ahead and snip these apart to stack them. So I'm just going to make it more of a vertical sentiment. And these are going to be adhered onto that label. Before I do that, though, I'm going to do a little bit more stamping. I'm going to come in with my die cuts, and as I said, I'm going to stamp on the flip side. I want one of those maple leaves and 2 of the other leaves. Not sure what kind of leaves these are. And I do want to stamp on them. So once again, I'm going to, gosh, there we go. I'm going to use my stamps from the set, and I'm going to stamp. And I'm going to stamp off. I don't want it too bold of a color. I want it nice and subtle in the background. Just like so. I'm just adding a little bit of color here. And what I like about this, it then has this 2-step stamping. Here's the detail stamp that has like the veins in the leaves. Perfect little leaf here. And I'm going to do the same with the maple leaf. So I'm just going to take my stamp from the kit, make sure I've got it mounted correctly. There is a right and a wrong way to mount the stamp. Ink up, stamp on, whoops, didn't adhere. It's kind of sticking to the ink pad instead of to my block. Better. And I'm going to go ahead and ink up the stamp, or sorry, the die cut, add a little bit of color. And then I'm going to add the detail veins onto the leaf. All right, there we go. So now we just need to assemble. I want to make this a little bit dimension, so I'm going to bring in some mini dimensionals. I'm going to pop on my label here, put a couple dimensionals behind the greeting. And there's my U. And I have one more. Here's my thank. And this is going to be adhered to my card front. I'm just going to use a little bit of flat adhesive on this. Right, like so. And then finally, I'm going to embellish with those little leaves that I stamped. And these are going to be popped up with dimensionals. And I'm going to put a couple of them. I'm using the minis, so we can add a few to give lots of support. The first one's blowing from the top. Oh. There goes Finley now. Something is going, oh, you know what? It's evening walk time in the neighborhood. That's what's going on. Ooh, he sounds fierce, right? Oh my gosh. Hey! And there we go. It's okay, we're almost done here. All right, so there you go. There's my second alternative for my paper pumpkin kit for September. Here's the first that I shared previously, both using the stamp set that's included in the kit. If you want to get in on the October kit, you want to subscribe by the 10th. Okay, thanks, Debbie. I know, he's just doing his job, right? You can't blame him for that. Thanks very much for clicking by.